Welcome everyone. So today is Saturday, and I just want to go over my data this week, so how my model performed, and what I think of it. I'm gonna start with my first model, which is the one I trade on stream, 2025 model. I'm currently trading this one on Top Step. So Thursday had a good trade. Now on stream, I did take this trade where the entry is. I just moved my stop up while in the trade, and I went back and watched the stream. There was no good reason for me to move my stop up. I simply just moved it because I just wanted to risk $300 instead of 400, and I didn't think that price would come down that far past the gap, because it had swept, very quickly, and had created a lot of distance between that low and where it made its low. And I assumed that we would be very, very quick in running back up towards the highs. So I didn't really think it would spend too much time down here, and I moved my stop up for it to be a little tighter. Ended up taking me out, and then it went to profit. So this is the trade here. You can see I got taken out right before it made the low, and then started running straight to TP. Now, this was a little unfortunate. I'll be honest, I did think of chasing. I did think of doing something that would have been against my rules, that would have been toxic. But I've done these things so many times in the past, breaking my rules and gambling really, and being emotional and making bad decisions on the charts. I know it's detrimental to my success to do these things, so I didn't do it. But it was hard for a bit seeing this trade work out. However, the next day was also hard because as I wasn't able to stream. I was out of the house and I was trading for my Chromebook, so I wasn't fully in my element as I am when I'm in front of my trading desk. And I don't know, I took this first trade, it didn't work, and this is okay. There was nothing wrong with this. I considered both these entries as the same trade because they were on the same sweep. So on the 5-minute chart, we're using the same price swing that we swept, and so the second entry was so the first one was a fair value gap, and the second one was an inverse fair value gap. I wasn't on the chart to take this, and I missed out on it. I came back to the chart later, and I saw that this had happened. Again, it is what it is. It was a bit hard for me to take that in, but I didn't do anything reckless out of it. I looked later in the day, and if I had the opportunity to do something reckless, I wouldn't have been able to anyway. So I just had to suck it up and call it a losing week. When it could have been a winning week. If I had followed my rules to the letters and been present for all the opportunities, it would have been a winning week, and that's what I'm proud of. Because this model is going to be successful in the long run, and I know if I show up every day and I keep following the rules, I'll be okay. I did take a few other trades throughout the week that I haven't marked. If some of you had noticed from watching my streams, these are all, and I said it beforehand, these were all lower quality plays that I wouldn't normally take, risking with live funds. I was only taking them because I was doing a challenge, or I'm still doing a challenge. Going forward, I don't know if I'll keep taking them because I feel like it just adds unnecessary risk, unnecessary. It takes unnecessary energy. Too much. What am I trying to say? Psychological equity or mental equity is what I'm looking for. Anyways, then I'll go on to look at the table. So for the month, we're basically at the end of the month. I think we have like 1 or 2 more trading days in September. But the model is 4-3. If I uncheck the news, there is an extra trade. It was on a Friday. I don't know why this is. On this Friday, there was no high impact news. So I didn't take. I don't know if I will, like, it would be profitable if I trade the no high impact news. It's just I'll run into more losses, and it's gonna reduce my win rate. And I don't know if I want to risk 5%, 10% of my account on these trades. I really need something that's not gonna happen too often. It's gonna win most of the time, so that if I take a 10% loss, I'll have some time in between to make sure I'm straight and I'm okay to continue trading and risk the same amount on the next trades. But if I don't consider the high impact news, I only look at the ones where there was high impact news. Um, we were 4-3, and again, two of these September 17th, 26th were on the same sweep. So same sweep, it's just two different entries. I consider it the same trade idea. So we're really just 4-1 so far for the month. Total of 12 RR for this model, which is really great. But moving on from that, I'm gonna go to my NLP model, which I have a little bit more to say about this one. But we only had trades again Thursday and Friday. Oh, this is 2025 model. Nope, NLP. So we only had trades Wednesday and Thursday. There was a trade Friday, but I did not take this trade because the stop. So the rules, like, one might see that you could have entered, but the stop to the high would have been over 30 points. So if I go into the chart and I show you what I mean by that, when we're above 8:30 and midnight, right around 9:25. So I'm going short. I'm looking at the current dealing range, right? The dealing range we're in. So the price swing that I'm trading within, and I'll put my stop to the high or 30 points, right? I wouldn't be putting it 30 points. I'm be putting it at the high, and that would be 74 and a quarter points. And I mean, I never take any trade that's about twice the size of my usual stop loss. That's something that's been a rule that's been consistent on all my models. Doing so would have meant I would have aimed for previous day low. I just didn't see this as a realistic trade. So in truth, I did take it with a 30-point stop because I didn't see that the full stop. Like I had looked at the full stop, and I knew I couldn't afford because I'm only trading one micro on my live for this model. Because I'm trading this model on my live, the other one I'm trading on Top Step. But I couldn't afford this stop, so I didn't even bother to check how many points it was. It's only after later when I was journaling the trade that I noticed it was twice the stop size. So I didn't put it in my journal, but I still took it. I'm just not putting it as data collection because it should not have been taken. So yeah, anyways, this is just not realistic to expect a 74-point stop, and yeah, I just didn't take this. This shouldn't be logged. Other than that, we had one win and one loss, so profitable week. I think every week so far has been profitable. Well, last week made only like 19 USD at the end after commission, so it's we had basically one break-even week so far, but I mean it's been pretty good. I hope that it can keep working well throughout October as long as the volatility keeps up. Okay, so this is all the trades. This is all the trades for the month. You can see a little bit better here in the table scene, but we're 4-5 for the month. Total of 10 RR. Now, one thing that's been reoccurring that I noticed is whenever we trend, it just loses most of the time. Sometimes it will pull back and it will give us a bit of profit, and it could win. It's more of a gamble though. But I want to show you, I've been taking these trades because it's still something I've been testing, and I haven't been too sure about. But this is when price leaves an unreasonable large trend where we go from the low of the day to the high of the day, in one single direction. That's usually a distribution. It could be a manipulate, well, not really a manipulation because it goes from the low of the day to the high of the day. So there's no other extreme to target. It's different if London had done a large trend and left Asia lows, or London lows. But if we have 6 a.m., just create one direction and make the whole day's range. This is we're entering against a trend, a very clear and powerful trend, and it will just lose often. So you can kind of see these trades, how they look. All night here we were trending lower, and then the one on the recent trade on September 25th, same thing on Thursday. I knew this would lose, but I still took it because it wasn't part of my rules, and I don't change my rules in the middle of a trading week. I always wait till the weekend before changing my rules and think things. It gives me a chance to think things over. But this is obviously a large trend lower ever since started at around midnight, and we just trended in one direction. We had to pull back 3 a.m., but then even then we're still trending in one direction. So yeah, if I look at the entire all the scenarios where we've trended, so only contains trends, we've only had one win. That win was 7RR, but this is like just out of chance, like I don't look at how small the stop size is compared to the range of the day. This is just not, this was just luck or an anomaly, because look at all these losses. And I'm mainly just focused on the 2025 because I didn't really log any of the trends throughout 2024 or 2023. But I did throughout 2025, and it's clear that we're 1-9 for 2025. So I'm not going to trade these anymore going forward, and this should hopefully increase my win rate. Well, we can look at that actually. We're gonna do does not contain, or we're gonna do the usual filters. We're 117 and 250 for an expectancy per trade of 0.57 of our risk. And if we don't include, actually let's look at it since the beginning of 2025. So the expectancy is 0.95, 26, and 43, and that is not including the trend. It goes down to 0.8. So I mean, we're making an extra 0.15 expectancy here. This is, obviously it's unprofitable, and it would be better for us to remove this. So going forward, I won't be trading that. And yeah, that's it for this week though. I hope you enjoyed and maybe taken something, and I'm excited to see everybody next week, and good luck with your trading.